has been just amazing watching these Olympic athletes. We're in Olympic season here now. And so watching these high-performing athletes, especially the young ones like Chloe Kim in the snowboarding, is just fascinating. 17-year-old, doesn't have lots of international experience. She comes to the Olympics and she kills it. She's just performing in an awesome way. How is she able to do that? It's not just how much athletic ability she has, it's how she's dealing with the pressure, how she's regulating herself, all that emotion, excitement and fear and dread. Somehow she's managing all that and being incredibly effective. And we know that in our EQ talks we've had with you before, self-regulation is one of the key 5 components of EQ. I want to talk to you about that. I want to talk about capturing, if you're going to be high performance, whether that's be in life, at work, in relationships, whatever the case, your ability to perform well, your ability to manage your emotions is really crucial to effectiveness in all those roles. I want to grab onto what we're seeing unfold in front of our eyes at these Olympics, apply it to our lives that we get better at that. All right, so what these Olympic athletes are doing so well is self-regulation, one of the 5 attributes of EQ. Now, self-regulation has really 2 major components. It's learning how to manage emotion, and it's learning how to manage self-talk or our mindsets. And what you're seeing in these high-performance athletes is they're doing a phenomenal job on both those sides. I want to talk to you and mine down on this video a little bit about managing emotion. How do we manage emotion? And so I want to walk you through 3 or 4 key insights that's going to empower you to be better at it as you're watching them that I think we can learn from this. So a practical tool that's going to help me manage my emotions better is the issue of awareness, that I'm really in touch with what's going on. So often with emotions, it feels like they come out of nowhere and they're just on top of us. Anger would be an example of that. Is all of a sudden something happens and bam, I'm in a rage. Well, emotions don't happen like that. They grow over time. Now, the time may not be real long, but the quicker you can be aware of what's really happening inside of you, I'm upset by that. In fact, I'm more than upset. I'm really upset, and all of a sudden anger's there. The sooner I can pick it up, the better I'm going to be able to manage it. If I'm not aware of what I'm feeling until I'm in a full-flown rage, I'm not going to be able to manage it. So awareness is really, really important. Look for it. Pay attention to what you're thinking and feeling. Pay attention to emotions. They're really, really helpful because they give us the ability to process what's happening around us. So be aware of what you're feeling. Another practical tool is the issue of relating to our emotions. Now, it may sound a lot like awareness, but relating to them is that I embrace them, I'm comfortable with them, they're important. You know, I give you a word picture. So often a little child will be running and they fall down and they skin their knee and they start to cry, and somebody runs towards them and picks them. Oh, no, no, don't be crying. You know, you're not supposed to be crying. Now, they don't say you're not supposed to be crying, but it's like, don't cry. Like crying's a bad thing. I tell you what, when you fall over and you skin your knee, crying's really appropriate. Let's let them embrace that. Oh, honey, that really hurt, didn't it? I'm going to let them experience the emotion. I'm going to honor the emotion. I'm going to help them learn how to relate to that emotion. I grew up in a home. We did not relate to emotion well. As I came into a marriage, it was like, honey, what am I feeling? Because I don't even know what I'm feeling. I was so disconnected from our emotions, my emotions. And so I just want to encourage you, learn how to relate. Be comfortable with them, embrace them. Now, we've talked about before, they're not designed to lead, so don't just run with them, but make room for them. They're important. Learn how to relate to them. So another practical skill, again, seems a little bit similar, but it's the issue of identifying emotion. I find myself, especially as I was trying to learn how to relate better to my emotions, because I didn't do a good job of self-regulating myself, that what I had a hard time doing is, what am I feeling? I don't even know what I'm feeling, because fear and anger and hurt and, you know, this adrenaline rush, all those things are coming at me at once. And I had a hard time really identifying, what am I feeling right now? And so as you practice awareness, okay, as you learn how to relate to them, learn how to really identify them. This is fear rising. This is hurt rising. This is anger rising. You know, I'm just a little overwhelmed, whatever it may be. I want to identify what I'm feeling. The better I get at identifying it, the better I'm going to be at managing it. Okay, so another practical skill that's just going to be really helpful is as we're learning how to relate and identify, being aware, is I also then need to learn how to problem solve. What happens is I'm really starting to look at my emotions and embrace them, identify them, become more aware. All of a sudden, I'm going to find out that I didn't manage them very well sometime. Take that as an opportunity then to go back and debrief with yourself. How might I want to handle that the next time it happens? Go into problem solving mode. Next time I'm facing that kind of interaction with that person, with that topic, how do I want to relate to that? How would I want to better manage myself? What language would I want to use? Spend time thinking about there's a better way to approach it and deal with it than I did then, and then apply that learning, problem solve, and then implement the solution that you came up to in your problem solving. All right, so I started with just being fascinated by these Olympic athletes. And maybe it's hard to identify because they're so good at what they do. But I just want us to capture this point that's applicable for you, that if you're going to be effective in life, if you're going to be effective in your career, if you're going to be effective in relationships, much like that high-performance athlete, you're going to need to learn how to self-regulate. In particular, the issue of managing your emotions, not just having them overtake you, but learning how to really genuinely manage them. Really important for success in life. Okay, so managing emotions is only one component of self-regulation. The other component is this issue of managing self-talk, managing our belief systems, managing our mindsets. I want to come back again with you on the next go-around, and we're going to talk about managing belief systems. Belief systems affect how we manage emotion. They are dramatically involved in managing mindsets. I want to give you some insights about that.